Yay! Hooray! I'm 1 year in the UK, guys. Hello people, welcome back to my channel. If you're just seeing my face for the first time, welcome as well. I do hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe before you opt out of this video. And to my returning subscriber, you guys are beautiful, you guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for your continuous love and support. I really do appreciate you guys. Now, to jump right into what I have for you guys today, as you can already tell, I'm 1 year in the UK today, and yes, you might be seeing this video tomorrow because I'm just literally making this video today, being the 9th. It didn't go as planned, but whenever you see this video, it doesn't matter. Know that I am 1 year in the UK and we're making progress here. So guys, I've been thinking about how I want to do this video. I initially asked people to just tell me if they want me to answer anything in particular, because I want to make this like a Q&A session. So, but I'm going to be the one doing the questioning and answering myself at the same time. Okay, so for the sake of this video, guys, I know it's going to be a little bit lengthy, but I want to keep it very interactive as well. So I've written down some things that I'd like to talk about, and I'll be sectioning this video into 3 parts. So the first part, I'll be talking about traveling from your home country to the UK. I'll share some tips. It's going to be very brief. And then the second part of this video, I'll be talking about settling in the UK general, and then I'll be talking about settling as a nurse. And the last part will be the social part, which is the part I know that many people want to hear about, you know, the fun stuff about being in the UK. So yes, it will just be more of general questions anyways. So guys, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about now is about traveling from your home country. I traveled from Nigeria to the UK. Okay, and just going to be sharing some tips basically. So I don't want to make this video lengthy, like I said. Okay, so if you have questions, you can always ask in the comment section. Just a few tips I want to share. If you're traveling from your home country down to the UK, just carry what you need. I made a note so that I don't leave out anything, and I wanted it to be very particular and brief, so it's not very lengthy, because I have a habit of talking too much. You know, you guys know me here. So yes, carry what you need, buy what you need. I keep saying this all the time. This was personal experience to pay over 150,000 naira for excess luggage. I think this is the first time I'm like revealing it. So I had to pay that amount just to bring in extra luggage because I didn't want to leave things behind. People go ahead to buy 50 winter boots, 50 winter jackets. So people buy duvet from Nigeria or their home country, and some other things. There are things you can actually get when you come into the UK at a much better price, and who knows, maybe a better quality as well, because you have various options to pick from. Okay, so limit what you are buying when you're coming. Just buy the very important things, those basic necessities that you would need, because okay, let's be honest, you might not be able to like go out to buy things just the day you come into the UK, because you might even come in the middle of the night around 2 a.m. and if it was during the days where you would isolate when you come in, you won't be able to move around. That's when people buy more stuff. But these days where you don't need to isolate when you come into the UK, just buy exactly what you need. Okay, the next day when you're settled, you can go into town and find so many options of things that you can actually buy. So yes, that's what I wanted to say for there, so you don't get to the airport and start paying a lot like me. The second thing I'd like to say is before you travel, before the day of your flight, try and weigh your luggages if you can. Very possible. So if you have a weighing scale, that's fine, but they have this luggage weighing scales. I'll put a picture or video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I actually want to get one. I didn't have one during my own time, and that's why I entered all the problems I entered. So these are things I'm sharing, actually live situations that happened and not things that I made up or coined up. So get a luggage weighing scale if you can. It's just going to cost you a few ounces and a few pounds or a few naira, and it's something that you can keep using continuously for a very long time, so it's actually cost effective. You can weigh your bag and know that you're not exceeding the required kg that you need to travel to the UK. I think you need 23 kg times 2 when you're traveling out. So yes, make sure your bags are not past that, and I think you have 8 kg for your hand luggage as well. So that's the second thing that I wanted to talk about. So the next thing is to make inquiries about the documents that you would need when you are traveling. This is just to ensure that you don't get into any kind of problems when you're at the airport, or you don't, start getting delayed or even have to miss your flight, and then you start repaying to rebook your flight and go through all the stress. So make sure you have all the necessary documents. And in fact, I think during my own time, I started packing my documents together a week before I travel, just to make sure that if there's something that I'm forgetting, I'll remember it, before the time for my flight. Just make sure you start packing your documents together. You can get a clear bag or a file, depending on how you want to do it. Whatever works for you. Make sure you put everything together so that you're not leaving anything behind, forgetting anything, or missing out something that you should have in your files. Now, this one I want to say, I feel like it's very, very, very common. Please wear comfortable clothes to travel. Most of these flights are very, very long. There are people that do connecting flights. Now, I came through a direct flight, so I really don't know the experience of using connecting flights to come from somewhere like Nigeria to the UK. But I've heard some people, they say it's 16 hours, 17 hours or longer, depending on how many stops you have to make. But I came with direct flight. I came with British Airways. It was about 6 hours and some minutes. So yeah, it wasn't that bad for me. But if you're going to use connecting flights, especially, I know you want to slay. It's a one-time thing, because most people book like one-way flights or one-way tickets to the UK. So you can still like slay, but make sure you're wearing comfortable clothes. Okay, make sure you're not wearing anything that will be too tight for you, because if you need to make a stop somewhere along the airport to maybe ladies or the gents, and you're wearing a lot of things on your body, you're going to encounter a lot of problems. And as well, when you have to go through checks, through the security borders and all, you're going to regret it. You're going to really, really regret it if you're not dressed appropriately. Those things. Don't use belts, don't use just anything iron on your body, anything metal on your body. Reduce it, so that when you get to those security border posts especially, you don't have to start taking off. I've had bad experiences regarding this whole thing when I was going to, that will come later. So yes, reduce the amount of metals you carry in your body when you're traveling. I know you want to wear those ice on your neck and all those things, but make sure you reduce those things when you are traveling to the UK, traveling to any other parts of the world. Now, the last thing that I want to say, the last but not the least, this is something that many people don't do. Record your traveling experience. It's always wonderful. Even if you don't record the whole struggle you had to encounter during getting your visa and booking your flights and other things, while you are traveling, on the day of your travel, try to record it, because like I said before, you book a one-way ticket, and I know that you probably still travel to a lot of places. This is something that many people have looked forward to, leaving their country to come to the UK. And it's one regret that I have till today, because I started my YouTube channel before I even came to the UK, but I wasn't bold enough to start posting videos, so it didn't really occur to me. And it would have been a very wonderful one, because I had so many challenges along the line, and so many problems here and there, and so many good times as well. It would have been fun to have recorded all those things, because I would really love to look back and watch myself and the way everything played out then. Now I can't, because I didn't record any of that part, so that you don't start regretting like me in 6 months time or a year time, when you are settled in the UK or any other place. Wherever you are traveling to, always try to just record your traveling experience, record everything that you encounter, the ones that you can, and in 6 months time or 1 year time, you'll thank me later for telling you this part. Now we're going to move to the second part, which is now settling in the UK. So you have finally gotten to the UK, you want to settle down now. It's time for you to settle down and start changing your life, basically, because people have asked me, how are you able to settle in the UK? So that's what I'm going to be answering, and I'm going to be giving like general tips that I use, that general tips that helped me. And I'm also going to be talking about settling in your work environment. I think I've talked about this as well in my video, one of my videos, my first videos. So you can always go back and see if you can catch up on that. But so settling in the UK, the first thing you want to do when you come in is to get your residence permit. That's very important, because this is going to be like your main identity once you come into the UK. You're not going to be going around again with your country's passport. Mostly you'll be going around with your BRP, or you have them scanned on your phone, as I always advise, which we'll still talk about more at the end of this video. So yes, you have to get your BRP first. That's the first thing you have to do. And before even getting your BRP, before coming to the UK, you should have had somewhere that you want to stay. So if you're coming through a work visa, most times your employer sponsors you and gives you accommodation for a short period of time before you move out or start paying them. So if you're in that category, good, that's you're actually very lucky. I was that lucky as well. So but if not, you know that before you come to the country, you start looking for accommodation, because that's another very difficult thing, guys. Looking for accommodation here, that's a story for another day. Okay, that's going to come in another vlog probably, but for today, just know that looking for accommodation in the UK is actually very, very difficult. So you make sure that if you know you're coming to the UK and you don't have family that you're going to stay with, or any friend that you're going to stay with, you make sure that you start looking for a house very, very early. And when I say very early, from the moment you decide that you're going to come to the UK and you decide on the location that you're going to stay at, or maybe you're coming for school or whatever, you know where you're going to be, make sure that you start looking for accommodations, because it's going to help you so you don't get choked and cramped up and tensed up. Because people have had experiences where they arrange to stay with a friend and they get to the airport here in UK, and then the friend just tells them, oh, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Or they're in a flight and they get a message when they land that, oh, I can't help you. So don't fall in that category. If you can get a place to stay, fine. If you know you're going to trust someone to accommodate you for the first few weeks or months that you'll be here for, then make sure it's a legit person and the person's not going to bail on you. Okay, so that's what I want to say regarding that. So after having your address, you have an address now, you have a home, you've gotten your BRP. The next thing I would advise is that you get a bank account. Okay, so getting a bank account, of course you need your BRP and you need an address, of course, because you need to show your proof of address. So the next thing will be to get bank account, okay, within the UK. It's left for you now to make good inquiries about the best banks within the area you are in, or the best banks that people are using around you. That's what you have to do. But if you're having difficulties getting like a physical bank account, you can always get the virtual bank accounts. There are many of them. There's Monzo, there's Revolut, and a lot of the others. You can always get those and be using them prior to when you can go to a physical bank and actually open an account with them. That's what I want to say. This is going to help you go cashless. This is going to help you avoid carrying loads of cash around, because you can actually lose them, or it could get stolen. So you want to try and get like an account, either a physical account or an online account, a virtual account, where you can later apply for like a card, a physical card that you can be using to pay for stores. Because most times here people go cashless. I hardly see people pay with cash, just few times, and you don't want to be gathering coins and whatever, carrying them around. So it's always tap 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 tap. That's one of the things that I really love about the UK. You just go ahead tapping and tapping and tapping. You don't need to go out with cash, as long as you have money in your account. And yes, you can always connect this card to your, if you're using an Apple phone or an iPhone, you can always connect it to your wallet. And if you're using like Android phones, you can always connect it to your Google Wallet and stuff. So yes, that's that. So make sure you try to get these three things: your BRP, you should have a place to stay, and try to open an account. Those are the first three things that you need to do when you come into the UK. Now, another thing I'd like to say is it's advisable to get some shopping cards. I do not this is something that I want to work on in the new year, because me, I just have this nonchalant attitude sometimes, but it's quite good to get some of these cards. And when I see some of these cards, there's some shopping centers that have their cards, like Lidl has a Lidl card, Tesco has Tesco card, and some of these other places. Get all those cards, because they earn you some kind of discount at some points. Okay, and they even if it's like £1 or £2, by the time you add all these things, you would see the difference in what you are supposed to pay and what you're actually paying now. So it's good. It's something I want to work towards acquiring in the next year, just to save up a little bit of money. By the time you're making a list, or you're adding up things at the end of the year, you will see that you actually saved a lot of money from that £1 discount, £2 discount, and a lot of other things. So yes, when you've settled, you can start getting all these cards one by one, especially when it's like a store you go to constantly. Once they have a shopping card, try and get the shopping cards, because they help you as well. Now, the next thing I want to say, I know you're coming to a new country and you get tensed up with learning how to move around, what's best for you, what's more comfortable for you. One of the things that I like about the UK, I know I'm supposed to talk about things I like, but it doesn't matter, I can answer them in between. One of the things I like about the UK is the organized transport system. They have good bus routes, although some places are lagging behind. Most of the other places, they have buses that connect to different places, or if you want to go with a metropolitan, if you want to go with a train, they have like good connecting routes in the UK. So their transport system is quite good and very organized. So all you have to do is, when you come into the UK, you have to ask questions. That's the number one thing I tell people: ask questions. Because I mean, it's only when you ask questions that you really know what's going on. So make sure you familiarize yourself and get comfortable with the bus route. All you need to do is just understand it. Once you understand it, that's all you need. And if you're within London, there is this thing called City Mapper. I've talked about it in my previous videos. There is this thing called City Mapper. It's an app. It basically gives you the direction to anywhere you want to go within London, but it doesn't work outside London. I don't really know what people use outside London, but I'm in London, so I know. So what most people use here is City Mapper to find their way around. It tells you the bus route, the bus stop you're supposed to stop at, the time that you're going to even get there, the time the buses or the train will come. So it's very, very wonderful. You can always find out, even if you're not in London, there are people that are outside that are finding their way. So just get accustomed with the bus route, so you know where you're going to and the buses that you need to get to where you need to get to, or if you need to get there with a train. This will help you save money, because if you want to start doing Uber or Bolt, especially for people that are just coming in, that are still, you know, finding it hard to stop converting. If you convert the Uber money, you want to shed blood. When you look at the distance of where you're going to and you want to convert, you will shed blood. And of course, you're just coming in, so you probably don't have a lot of cash on you. You're trying to make do with what you have, so you don't want to be spending so much money and wasting so much money. So yes, get accustomed with the bus route. It's very simple. Once you can understand how it works, that's all you need to know, and you'll be good to go. And having said this, once you get a little bit settled in the UK, I know this as well applies to me. I was trying to take my time, and for me it wasn't really a necessity because I was living in my workplace at the time. But now that I've moved out, I'm really like getting the hang of it. It's dawning on me right now that I need to like fasten and hasten up my driving lessons and whatever. You need to learn how to drive. So before you even come to the UK, it's advisable that you learn how to drive. Although if you're coming from a place like Nigeria, my home country, we drive on the left, but here in the UK you drive on the right. So there are things you still have to learn and adjust to, but it's always good to have that initial idea of even how to handle the steering before you come to the UK. Not saying that if you're not opportune to learn how to drive, you will not still make it when you come here, but I'm just saying, to make it easier for you, if you can learn how to drive before you come into the UK, then it's a plus for you. So yes, when you come in and you settle, the next thing you want to start chasing is learning how to drive, because learning how to drive opens up a lot of opportunities for you. It's like a vast option if you want to work in other places as well. You're not bothered about the distance from where you're staying to where you're going to work. In terms of buses not coming up or showing up at the time they're supposed to show up, those things don't affect you. Don't bother about those things. You just enter your car and go wherever you want to go. Now, I've recently heard now, I didn't know that this applied before, but I've been told now that on Christmas Day, there won't be any bus. Basically, if you're working on the Christmas Day, I don't know how you want to find your route or find your way. If you're working, you probably have to stay at a friend's place closer to your workplace where you can walk or whatever, or just I don't know how you want to find your way to work. Or if you're driving, it's a plus, but if you're not driving and you have to go through the bus route, there won't be any buses, so you probably have to take an Uber or a Bolt. And I heard that the prices will be double their initial prices. So if you have to pay £10 initially to get to your workplace, you'll be paying £20 for a distance of probably 5 minutes. So yes, guys, you want to make sure that you learn how to start driving once you're coming to the UK, because there are lots of benefits I can't even cover here regarding driving. Driving where I come from is like most times lifestyle. People want to show off and stuff, but here it's a necessity and you need to know how to drive in the long term. So the next thing, let's talk about food. People are like, okay, how do you feed? What do you eat? So naturally, me, even before I came here, I was very, very particular about foods, and I'm still very particular. I don't experiment with food. I can eat rice all through the week. I will not still tell you it's my best food, but I just enjoy eating rice. So yes, so as regards food, especially like me now being an African, coming here and not being someone that experiments with food, it was really a challenge for me trying to sink into the food. But I came in with some food items from my home country, and I've been, feeding on that. I was feeding on that initially, but I've run out of those items. Of course, I still have some of the items that came in from Nigeria, or some of those items that I dried before bringing in. But when you run out of stock, or before you run out of stock, you should have made inquiries, ask people around. There will be other Africans around you as well that you can ask where they go to do their shopping to get African items. So there are African stores or shops around you. Even though they are not that close to you, they'll be accessible to you. Maybe you have to take a bus or a train there. That's fine. So you just need to make inquiries where you can get some of those things from the African stores. So that's why I said there's no need for you bringing heaven and earth when you're coming here, because it's only your money that you'll be wasting at the airport. The money that you would save and use when you come here to help your life, you will not be spending it paying off for excess luggage at the airport. But it all depends on you and your preference and what you want, really. So yeah, that's on food. I don't do much cooking, to be honest. I really don't do much cooking, but I try to cook from time to time. And when I cook my rice, my stew, my jollof rice, you know. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on any Nigerian food, because the African stores, even if you want to cook soup, the African stores that you can buy your egusi and ogbono and other things from, and you know, enjoy like you're in Nigeria still. Let's talk about settling now as a healthcare worker, a nurse, a doctor, or whatever. So the first thing that you need to know is that not everyone would like you, okay? So don't expect to come and be welcomed with open hands. Most times you'll be welcome, but it's not everyone that would actually welcome you. First few months will be very challenging for you, especially the first week of your resumption at work. It will be all strange. It's still the same nursing, but in a different setting and different equipments that you'll come across, and sometimes you'll be tempted to feel like you don't even know anything, okay? But do not feel that way. Do not allow yourself get sunk into feeling that way, because it's not true. You are smart, you're brilliant, you got yourself all the way down here. That's a very big plus to you. So do not allow anybody make you feel like you are less, okay? I almost got thrown into that corner, but I put my head up and I'm like, no, I'm a queen, and I brought myself down here, and I know that I did it with the grace of God and my efforts. I will not allow anybody make me feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Just know that everyone will not like you. Prepare your mind before you come that everyone will not like you. It's going to be very challenging trying to adapt to a new system entirely, new equipment and all. But the support they provide you with is actually very, very paramount as well. You should be focused on completing your competencies once you come. Okay, sometimes they like to take time to, you know, take you through those things so that you don't make mistakes along the line. But just make sure that you are enthusiastic, okay? Ask questions all the time. It's very simple. These are the simple principles that everyone knows. Ask questions when you need to ask questions. Be focused, be inquisitive, okay? Always want to know, always ask questions. And I always tell people, when you come in, you're going to hear a lot of terms you're not used to in your own healthcare sector where you're coming from. So always get your jotter. I got a small jotter from Amazon at the time, where I was jotting down things and jotting down tips, jotting down abbreviations that I wasn't sure of. You know, it really helps me, because when I go home, I'll look at those abbreviations, look them up on Google, see what I can get. And that's really how I learned and found my way all through. So you're not always, it's going to be a very, very fast-paced environment for you. I know we're working in a fast-paced environment back home, but trust me, it's quite different, because I felt the hang of it when I came here. I thought I used to work in a very fast-paced environment, but I came here and it was way different. So yes, you will probably need your jotter sometimes you can't jot down everything, but those important ones, it will help you. By the time you keep doing the same thing every day, you start getting used to it and you don't need a jotter. Before, when I'm going to work, when I started, I used to go everywhere with my jotter. But now, for a very long time now, I've not even had that jotter on me. I just pick it whenever I want to pick it up, and that's it. So yes, that's another way for you to help yourself settle when you start working here. Question, be inquisitive, be focused, put your head down. Wherever you see an equipment that you're not used to using, make sure you ask questions. Look for, you know, a friendly person that can teach you, okay? When you meet someone that's not friendly, just move on. Okay, go and do your thing. Person is probably going through a lot of problems and you don't even know about it. So don't allow it weigh you down, okay? Just go and look for that person. I'm sure there'll be other people that will be open to helping you and stuff. And once you keep doing the same thing every day, trust me, before you know, you get used to it. You become a pro. And people start asking you, oh my God, have you been here for a very long time? Have you been here for a very long time? How long have you been working as a nurse? You know, you start getting questions like that. And that's when you actually know that you are doing really well. Okay, so that's that on settling down in the UK. Now, the next thing that we're going to enter into is the social part of the UK, or social life in the UK. And yeah, I'm just going to be answering some questions here as well that people have asked me so far. The first thing I would answer is, when are you going back to Nigeria? I've gotten that question so many times and I really don't know how to answer it. Before I answer that question, let me drink my detox juice. When will I travel back to Nigeria? Honestly, I don't know. I know that there are colleagues of mine that have traveled back to Africa or back to Nigeria in less than 1 year. But for me, I feel like it's still very early. I mean, it's all dependent on your choice, basically. It's actually individual preference. But for me, I feel like it's too early. You know, it's just too early for me to go back. I do miss my family. I miss my friends. Trust me, but it's still too early for me to go back to Nigeria. As far as I'm concerned, your opinion is different. Other people's opinions are different. But for me, it's too early. So I don't have any plans at the moment. And I'm not even sure when I'll be going back to Nigeria. That's to answer that question. I'm not just sure. Right, but for now, I feel like it's just too early. There are still many things I need to, settle on and work on before I can think of traveling back to my home country, holiday or whatever. So yeah, that answers that one. So guys, next questions on socials that I will answer is, should you come to the UK single or married? Now, this is a very complex question that can be answered in different ways. But I would like to summarize it with saying that this is totally dependent on you as an individual, depending on what you value the most, or depending on what you are really all about, what you're into. And what do I mean? For instance, you could be coming to the UK with the sole purpose of just focusing on yourself, building yourself, your brand, whatever you're working on, and you might not even you might not really be so big on marriage as well. There are many people like that are not so big on marriage. So you could decide, okay, I want to just come to the UK and pursue myself and pursue my career. Some people also believe that being married will tie them down. I know that people will argue it, but if you're being honest, you won't compare the movement of the single person with a married person. So yeah, some people have that idea that if they get married now, it's going to limit them from being able to pursue their dreams or whatever. But I feel like it shouldn't be that way. Okay, it shouldn't be that way. It's just that now you are thinking of two people rather than one, and you're involving two persons rather than one person in your plans, and the other person might not always agree. So I feel like all those contradictions just make some people be like, oh no, I'm coming to a new country, I want to be focused, I want to mind my business, I want to mind my space, I want to settle down first before I start thinking about marriage. So yeah, so it's dependent on you. But let's just say that if you are someone that is big on marriage, or you have relationship at the sole part of your heart, then if you're already seeing someone in your home country and you know that it's pretty serious, advise that you just marry the person before you come back to the UK. Because why not? I mean, if you're sure of the person, you only live once, no one knows what will happen tomorrow. Just go ahead and marry the person, because you're taking a very, very big step. You're making big changes, and I think it's better if you already have someone in the picture that you make those big changes and steps with that same person, so that you people are growing together. Okay? So it's not that when you have come into the UK, you stay for 1 year, you settle, then the other person is just coming behind you and is still trying to struggle. But everything depends on your person. Like I said, if it's comfortable and convenient for two of you to come together, it's fine. When the other person comes, they start looking for a job if they don't have one already, and two of you can really grow together, build together, and solve problems together as well. But if not, I can't tell you specifically that UK is the best place for you to find relationships. I still want to bring people to have a sit down and talk about relationship life in the UK and being married in the UK as well. But at the moment, I cannot really tell you that, because I feel like most people in the UK, especially people that have come from other countries, initially they are more focused on building themselves, building their careers, looking for different opportunities to help them boom. So not many people are really looking oh, let me settle down. And some others that you might meet that would give you the idea that they want to settle down might not actually be have genuine intentions towards settling down. They might just be looking for an opportunity or someone that they can use to gain one thing or the other. And I know that you people understand what I'm talking about, but that's all I'm going to say concerning that. So it's up to you to decide if you want to get married before you come in, or you want to come in as a single person. For me personally, I know you people want to know. Currently, I have been more focused on settling down, my work. I wouldn't say that I haven't thought about relationship, but it's been occupying 20% of my time, and 80% of my time has been channeled towards work, growing my YouTube channel. And I just started a different one now where I just post job vacancies. So it's a lot for me to even work with, and I do all my editing, my videos by myself, everything. So yeah, so that's occupying my whole time. All right, so but who knows what the future holds? Who knows what 2023 holds for us? We'll just have to sit down and be looking, okay, and be praying and hoping to God, because that's the most important thing, ending up with the person that God wants you to end up with, and not just settling for anything. Now the next one I'm going to briefly just go through is social differences, social value differences encountered in Nigeria and also in the UK. The first thing I want to talk about is the use of sir and ma. So here they do not appreciate it when you say sir or ma. Where I come from, we are big on respect. We respect our elders, even people that you don't know, you just meet in the public, you address them as sir or ma. But here it doesn't work that way. Okay, if you even address someone as sir or ma, it seems like you're trying to insult them rather than respect them. They feel like you're trying to paint it to them that they are old, so they do not like to be associated with sir or ma. So you have to know that. Another thing is in terms of greeting. So we are very, like I said, we're very big on respect. Back home, we show so much reference to our elders. We're greeting them, good morning sir, good morning ma, or good morning papa, good morning mama. But it doesn't work that way here. Okay, so here you use hello, hi, hi, hello, you're right, are you okay, how you doing, blah blah blah. Nobody does anything like, oh, good morning sir, good morning ma. Like if you don't even try it, if you don't do it back home, oh boy, you are in so much problems, you're in so much pepper soup. But here it doesn't work that way. Another social value difference is in terms of calling first names. Guys. Here I call my matron by her first name. I call my nurse in charge by their first name. Anybody I meet, doesn't matter, even if you're 95, you are 150 years old or whatever, we literally call everyone here by their first names. Okay, nobody does Mrs. Most times addressing our patients, like when you want to just talk about, maybe you want to add like their title or whatever, but talking to patients normally you call them by their first name, Jane, this, that, whatever. You just call them by their first name. Everybody generally calls everyone by their first name here. Unlike back home, you dare not call your elder by their first name at home. You are going to be done for. Like, you're going to call the whole town meeting for you. You're going to call the whole village for you. The whole city will come. And if you're even still alive to tell the story, then you will be crucified finally. Another thing I want to talk about is the public display of affection. So you have people boldly coming out in public, locking mouths in the public, unlike back home, you don't do that. And even when couples are locking lips, they are married people and they're still very cautious as well of how they show their PDA in public, So, and yeah, that's just basically it. But here it's just a normal thing. You even see teenagers locking lips and being all mushy in public, and no one is giving them the judgmental look. Well, except for me. Just kidding, but yes, that's just another big social value difference that I have seen so far in the UK. Another thing is cursing in public. So you have people just say all sorts of things. Of things, but you hear people use these words back home, but they do it with the fear of God in their minds. They do it knowing that, okay, this thing you are doing or this thing they're about to say is very wrong, and people are going to crucify you if you actually use those kind of words in public. So people use it, but they use it codedly. But here, nobody sends anybody. Everybody just says whatever they want to say. They address themselves in whatever way they want to address themselves, and that's on period. Like smoking freely in public, it's a lifestyle here. People start smoking from very, very young ages. But back home, of course, it's not something that just applies to you. People that smoke are tagged as the devils. This page does not support smoking, by the way, because it's not good health wise, and I'm a nurse, so I have to represent being a nurse. Okay, whatever you want to do it appropriately. Let there be a balance with whatever you're doing. Let's talk about like being a YouTuber, vlogging in public places. Back home, you're more cautious. I think it's one of the reasons why I wasn't so confident to go out in public to, start my channel back home, because, I would be concerned sometimes of how people look at me. They'll feel like, oh, what's this one doing? They'll start giving you that kind of judgmental look. What is she doing? Blah, blah, blah. No one really understands. But here, nobody really cares. Whatever you're doing, go ahead, carry your camera, do whatever you want to do. They do look. Don't get me wrong, they do look, but they're not looking at you with that judgmental look or whatever. They're just looking at you probably in admiration. They like what you're doing, whatever. They can even join your videos. But Nigeria, they'll be hiding themselves. They don't want to. They don't probably want to even show up in your video most times. Okay, there are all these beliefs and whatever, and I do understand it. Okay, but here nobody really cares. That's just the point. Nobody cares. You can carry your video or camera wherever you want to carry it to, and nobody really cares. So the next question I want to answer that people have always been asking me is where I make my hair. I know most of you are looking at me in admiration now. You're wondering like, oh my god, I like her hair. So I can proudly tell you that I made this hair by myself. For those people that want to say she's lying, I made it myself. It's literally just crochet anyways. It's crochet hair, okay? But I do not know how to cornrow my hair. So what I do is I go to one of my friends and they help me cornrow my hair, and then I come back home and do my crochet by myself. But come 2023, I'm really hoping to learn how to do cornrows before the end of the year. Promise. And when I finally succeed, I will show you guys the video. I'll do a video and show you guys my progress so far. But it's something I'm really working on because I don't want to have to, you know, start looking for where to go to when I need to cornrow my hair, if I'm going on trips or whatever. I don't want to have to keep doing that, okay? So I want to learn how to cornrow my hair, but I make my hair by myself. I'm a natural hair girl, even though my hair is not thriving at the moment. So most times I carry my hair, I just pack it the way it is, or I do twists. You see a video of some of the twists I've done before. I do twists. I'm very good at doing twists, so I do twists on my hair. Yes, so I carry my hair like that most of the time, and then I wear wigs also. So I've never gone to a salon since I came to the UK. I've never gone to a salon to make my hair, and I don't intend to. Okay, so whatever hair you see on my hair, especially when it's crochet, so I go for crochet most of the time because I can do them by myself. And if I'm not on crochet, I'm on my hair or I'm on wigs. That's it, period. Because guys, making hair here is very, very, very expensive. So yes, if you are planning to travel out as well, if you can just learn it, if you can go to someone to teach you how to learn to cornrow your hair or make, you know, hair, little hair, fine. And also if you're a lady, bring as many wigs as possible if you know that you are the hair person. That's all. Peace out. Now, joking, we're still here. Now let's go to the next question. The next question I want to answer is on growth. So how far have I grown? Well, the term growth is basically, for me, it's a continuous process. You keep learning, you keep changing things, you do things, you make mistakes, you realize that you have messed up, you go back and retrace those steps again. But looking at myself, you know, this time last year and looking at myself this time this year, I can say I've grown considerably well. Doesn't taste great, guys, but staying healthy. So I can say boldly that I have grown a lot in my career as well. I'm a Nigerian registered nurse and a UK registered nurse. That's a very big plus. I also been able to start my channel thanks to the encouragement of good friends, Lisa and others, and my sister and a lot of other people that have been supporting me so far. I know we have been stagnant, but you know, it's still in view, you know, to keep growing and stuff. So yes, you know, work so far, you know, being more confident in my work environment, because honestly, starting out here is very, very difficult. So personally, I think I have grown in my workspace. I'm much more comfortable working, unlike when I started. You know, I know way here and there, you know, dealing with patients as well. I'm much more confident. I'm much more knowledgeable about what I'm doing. But I know that there is still more opportunity for growth. And even in this YouTube channel, I keep growing. I keep, you know, developing myself, you know, watching great YouTubers already and getting tips from them here and there, you know, trying to develop myself as well. And I think so far I'm doing okay. I know I can do better, but I'm doing okay at the moment. I like to give myself credit, because if I don't, who will? So yes, so in terms of my career and YouTube as a whole, I think I'm doing really, really well. And you know, being someone that hasn't really traveled for so much, or I haven't even, I traveled back home in Nigeria. I was just moving from one place to the other. There was either school, internship, service, or whatever. But you know, I've been able to travel to, I can say I'm a proud traveler right now, because I've been able to travel to 2 different countries. So I've gone to Turkey and I've gone to Greece, and I was able to do this under 1 month. I'm a badass like that. Guys, I'm just kidding. No pride here. But yes, I've been able to go to Turkey, and I went to Turkey first and then I went to Greece. So yes, that's it. And so So yes, honestly, I've really grown. I'm becoming more confident. I know that I can still gain much more confident than I have at the moment. But yes, I can tell you that I have grown specifically from last year to this year, and I do hope to keep growing and growing and growing. So the next question is what my expectations are, or what do I look forward to in the future or for the future. So of course, we all know that you can never tell what the future holds. But I feel like for me, it's all about growth. 2023 coming, I just really want to, just keep moving. I just want to keep, ticking out boxes. Okay, good boxes, of course. I just want to keep developing myself, but in my career. Okay, I want to develop my knowledge more. I want to be more inclusive in things that are going on around me at work. Okay, I know it's not going to be easy combining it with my YouTube channel as well, because I also intend to, grow more on this platform. But you just need, whatever you're determined in doing, you're just going to be able to do it. It's going to be a lot stressful, honestly. But it's all about growth for me for 2023. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm expecting to see. So I'm giving myself a target of getting, I know it seems unachievable, but I know that with the grace of God and with you lovely people, we can do it. So I'm hoping to at least hit like 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube by the end of next year. So I want to be sitting down here next year telling you that, oh my God, thank you 5,000 subscribers for pushing me this forward. I know it sounds unrealistic, but I know that with the help of God, like I said, and you guys, I know that I can get there. And I believe that there's nothing that is not possible to achieve. And I intend to explore more parts of the world, because you only live once. Okay, we're here trying to make money. It's not easy, honestly, with everything going on currently, but there are also ways that you can travel and still make it cost effective, but for yourself. For instance, booking your trips very early, okay, getting the things that you need, booking your hotels very early as well. You get them at much more lower prices, okay? You just can't keep working and working and working and working, and you're not even trying to like enjoy your money, or you're just giving it out without even enjoying anything for yourself. Hey, you work hard, you play hard. That's just how it works. So yes, I intend to travel a lot more. Currently, I have a trip booked for early next year. And by God's special grace, I will make that trip. Even though it's looking like I might not be able to make that trip right now. The devil is trying to play with me, but he has failed already. So yes, I have a trip booked. I'm not going to tell you guys where I'm going to for now. Okay, it's still a secret, but I'll be traveling next year, and I intend to travel. I have a target of going to 3 different countries next year. Could be more, I don't know. But for now, I have a target of 3 countries next year. And yeah, that's basically it. So explore more, grow a lot more, do a lot more, grow on this platform, grow in my career, develop myself better, be more inclusive in things happening around me. And that's it. That's what I'm expecting to see. And more life, long life, good health, prosperity, because without all these things, all your plans for the future are just a waste. And I intend to see growth as well in, friends, and my family members, my relatives, just all around me. Everyone should just be growing and doing good and doing well. I know that everything doesn't always go well, but we just keep praying to God and hoping for the best, and that's it. And when we're talking about what to expect as well, or what I'm looking forward to being much more organized for the new year. I'm looking forward to stay healthy, eat healthy. I've started already. As you guys can see, this is my detox juice. I've been on this for 3 days. So this is the 4th day actually. In the last 4 days, I can tell you specifically that this is what I've been feeding on. It's not been easy because I've had embarrassing moments where my tummy would be really rumbling, like my patient can hear it, but we move. So yes, I'm not waiting for the new year to make those resolutions. I'm doing them already. I'm taking steps already. And I also want to be much more organized. I'm someone that makes plans, and sometimes I can get swayed and diverted to go and start doing some other things, but I've decided to be more conscious about it and be more intentional about it as well. So I decided to get myself a planner. I know I've shown this in one of the videos that I've made, but you probably see it later. So I've gotten myself a planner, a 2023 planner. I don't know if you can see it. So I've gotten myself this planner just to help myself stay much more organized. It came with this pen, you see. It has a ruler. inside it, and a lot of other things. So you can put your daily targets and whatever in there, and whatever plan you really have basically goes in here. And there are a lot of other columns that it has for you, just to keep you in check. And I started writing some things, you know, in a page already, things that I look forward to achieving. It's quite personal. I've shared a lot already here. So yes, so I've gotten this already, and I started writing, because it's not when 2023 comes that I start writing things down. So things that I want to achieve, I'm already putting them down here. And I feel like it's, yes, you can write and probably not do anything, but I feel like writing is a first avenue for me to, you know, just keep working. And when I look at it, I remember that, okay, I need to do this and I haven't achieved it yet. Let me work towards achieving it. Now, a very interesting question that a few people have asked me: how much have I been able to save in my 1 year in the UK? Well, I'm not going to give the exact amount I've been able to save, but let me just tell you something, that it's easy for you to save. I won't speak for everyone, because everyone has different pay rates and stuff. It's not easy to save because the cost of things, taxation. Okay, let me even talk about things I don't like about the UK. So things I don't like about the UK, I think I mentioned things I like about the UK. So things I do not like about the UK, I will say the weather. First off, as I'm talking to you guys right now, I am freezing. I'm currently wearing socks on my feet. I had to go rush up and get my socks because I'm literally freezing. The weather is something else. The weather is very unstable. It's sunny this moment, the next minute it's raining, or the next minute it's so cold. Or you can look at it, it's sunny, you're like, oh, bright day, and then you go out you're sleeveless, and by the time before 5 minutes outside, you are already freezing to death. So yes, the weather is quite unstable, and it's a major problem, and it gets really cold. Another thing I do not like about the UK is the taxation. So that I feel like the tax is quite high. The tax that we pay is a great chunk, you know, from your salary. So you're seeing your salary and you're looking at your total, your total income, and then you're looking at what you're finally going home with. And you're like, it's not adding up. So by the time you pay national insurance, pay your taxation, by the time you're calculating your salary home, it's a lot of things. So basically, to make more income, you have to work extra hard, work. The more you're working, the more your money is going off. Yes, that's something I think those are two things I would just say that I really do not like about the UK. I know there are a couple of other things, but this is what I'm going to say. And now again, the cost of energy bills is something else. So we're trying to manage electricity here. So we're managing how we're using lights and whatever. Because of electricity bill, you can't use the heating all day, of course, and then the weather is terribly cold, so you're freezing. The only reason I'm this way is because I am doing this video. After this video, I'm going to wear my jacket because my hands, can't feel my hands right now, they are so cold. We're talking about how much I saved in the UK in my first year. Now, I'm telling you specifically that you can save up to £15,000 UK in your first year. You can. It's very feasible. You just need to cut away spending. I have forcefully and willingly spent a lot of money, you know, on different things. Doing this YouTube alone, I've gotten a camera, you know, within this 1 year. I've gotten a soft box. I've gotten another camera, which I will be unboxing at the end of this video. I've gotten so many things along the line, you know, things that spoiled, I had to rebuy, blah blah blah. So I'm not going to give exactly how much I saved, but like I said, you can save £15,000 or even more in your first year in the UK if you are cautious with spending and if you are ready to do the work. I said I traveled to 2 different countries within a month, so you can tell how much I have spent with the things I have bought so far, and I keep you know, spending more and more on things that I didn't even plan for. So yes, there are a lot of bills to pay, and you pay rent monthly and transportation and stuff. Yes, but I still tell you boldly that you can still save that amount. I did not say I have up to that amount. I'm just saying, because I know what I've spent. So I'm telling you that if you don't spend too much and you work hard, you'll be able to save that amount of money with all the inflations and stuff going on. Last question will be on my regrets so far in the UK. Is there something you regret coming to the UK? Is there something that you would have done better? Okay, so maybe I would have planned a lot better. Like I said, I would have started this YouTube channel a very long time, even before I came to the UK. I would have mustered the courage to start posting, because I actually opened the channel but I left it. So I should have started earlier on. Okay, maybe I should have put in more effort into learning how to drive in the UK. I was driving before I came here. I should have pursued it earlier, but these are not big things. These are things I can easily work on if I want to work on them. But a very recent regret, which caps everything. Such a very bad way to end the year for me. That's why I capped this video as I'm going back to my home country, and which is why many of you came here. Is that so on the 2nd of December, I went to town to get some things, and I took out my wallet, which I regret totally doing. So guys, please do not carry your important documents around. I really needed mine, but I overcarried because that wallet is where I used to store all my cards. So on that day I was rushing out, I needed some of the cards in there, so instead of separating the cards, I carried everything and went out. And I can tell you specifically that that wallet fell from my bag and someone picked it up. 10 minutes later I realized, I went back to look for it, I couldn't find it. And I had my residence permit in it, I had my work card in it, I had my provisional driving license that I just got recently in it, I had my Nigerian nursing license in it, I had my blue light card, one of my bank cards was there. A lot of cards were in there. Like I said, it was where I was stashing all my cards. I had cash, I think, worth up to £100 when you count the euros and the pounds in it. So it was a lot. I've not been able to get over it till now. I know what I've lost in this short period of time, that I lost my BRP, my license, and every other thing. I know what I've lost in just this short period. I just hope it doesn't cost me more. Even the trip I said I booked for next year, I have done it already with my BRP, my residence permit. So if I get a new one, I have to start calling the consular of that country, calling the airline that I've booked the flight with, so that I don't encounter problems on the day of my travel. And so many other things that it's going to affect, even getting a new driving license and getting another nursing license from Nigeria, and other cards as well that were in there that I have to replace along the line. It is costing me a whole lot. I've been so happy throughout this video because, like I said, I'm someone that likes to stay positive. I believe that when there is life, there is hope. Okay, you can always get back those things, but you can't get back your life. So I think that's why I missed everything. I missed the frustration. I'm still, being positive. Losing your BRP, apparently, which I did not know until now, is almost similar to losing your visa, because you still pay the exact same visa fee that you paid when you were trying to relocate out of your country. So in whatever you do, don't carry your documents out. As if you can avoid it. I'm a very big preacher of don't carry your documents around. So it's very unfortunate that this happened to me, but I guess things happen to people when you don't expect them to. Yeah, that's it. There are some places where you need to go to, or some things you need to buy that you need your physical ID, and I needed some of my ID cards that day because I wanted to get discounts what I was buying. But I should have taken the time to separate those cards that I needed with the ones that I did not need. It would have probably saved me a lot of problems today, but it is well. We keep moving, we keep pushing forward. So yeah, it's a very big regret. I wish I can take back the hands of time to that particular point, and I would not have had this problem. I would have done a lot of things right from what I did. And yeah, that's it. That's basically, those are my regrets so far, and this one just caps it because this is still quite fresh. This is the 9th of December. It happened on the 2nd of December, so it's still very fresh. I'm still trying to get an appointment for my BRP and just see what I can gather myself little by little. And I have other things as well that I'm working on. So it's been a lot that I've been going through. But regardless, we have to celebrate the fact that I'm 1 year in the UK today. It's not been easy, challenges here and there, ups and downs, good and bad, but we are still here, we are still standing strong. And I just hope for the best in this coming year. I hope for a lot of growth and development. Guys, I also want you to help me, support me by growing this channel. So if you come across this video and you are not subscribed, subscribe to this channel. I intend to do a lot of different things, bring a lot of content to this channel by next year, and that's why I sectioned out the job updates that I post here. I sectioned out that part and created it as a different channel so that I can focus more on bringing wonderful content here. I'm properly going into vlogging. I'm working on my vlogmas videos, which you start seeing from probably tomorrow or whenever you start seeing the vlogmas videos. I'm trying to bring entertainment to you guys, and I just hope you subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that when the posts start coming in, when the videos start coming in, you'll be the first to see them. And I want you to actually binge on this channel. So I'm bringing the phone to you, I'm bringing the phone to your doorstep. So guys, that's going to be the end of my 1 year recap, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and not also just enjoyed it but also learned one thing or the other that could possibly help you as well in your own journey. And if you're also 1 year in the UK today, or you're going to be along the line this month, or I mean, it's also good, share your experience, whether you're 1 year or 20 years in the UK. You can also tell us so far about your experiences. If there's anything you want to share, you can share in the comment section below, so that all of us can be entertained and all of us can learn one thing or the other as well from your comments. We would love to hear them, and please like this video and share to your friends. And like I said already, subscribe if you haven't, and stay safe, guys. Peace out.